The system is broken. The world is more divided than ever before. On one side, we have the privileged ones, those who have effortless access to financial services and possess proof of an official identity, living in a system designed to serve their needs. And on the opposite side of the world, we have an entire population residing in the shadows, disconnected from the financial system, lacking access to banking services and official documentation to prove they even exist. This is Coinspiracy, and in this video, we will explore how blockchain technology has the power to transform society and unite our divided financial system. We'll start by examining the stark differences between these two worlds. Welcome to Earth One, a world inhabited by approximately 4 billion fortunate souls who call places like the United States, the European Union, China, and Australia their home. On the other side, we have Earth Two, a domain encompassing regions such as Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia. Well, what's the point? The key point here is that across various metrics, such as infant mortality, literacy rates, and overall quality of life, access to financial services and proper documentation tends to have a positive impact across these critical indicators. Let's meet Jessica, a remarkable 30-year-old woman from Earth One. Jessica is an accomplished doctor specializing in pediatric medicine. Jessica possesses all her essential credentials, including a valid passport, a driver's license, and a birth certificate. Her journey through tertiary education has yielded a prestigious university degree, amplifying her expertise and establishing her as a respected professional. Beyond her flourishing career, Jessica has built a stable foundation for herself. She owns a beautiful home and navigates the streets with her reliable car. Embracing the blessings of a well-documented financial system, Jessica effortlessly manages her bank accounts, secures comprehensive insurance policies, and confidently enters into contractual agreements. Jessica utilizes platforms like Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal to swiftly and securely transfer funds to her mother, who lives in a different city. Thanks to these convenient digital platforms, Jessica can seamlessly send money with just a few taps on her smartphone. The process is not only efficient, but also extremely cheap, enabling her mother to instantly purchase the medication she urgently requires. Imagine the peace of mind knowing that your loved ones can access the urgent help they need without any hassle. Her life is a testament to comfort, security, and unwavering success. Now let's shift our focus to Earth 2. Meet Hassan. He is a hard-working, middle-aged man, but we cannot verify his age since he lacks any formal documentation. Despite learning multiple trades, his work history is difficult to verify. He resides on undeeded land, which means he has no legal ownership rights to his home, despite having lived there for over 20 years. Hassan lives in a cash economy, lacks access to credit or insurance, and faces challenges in verifying his criminal history. In this undocumented world, Hassan's agreements are purely verbal, as he lacks access to formal written contracts or legal documentation to protect his interests. The absence of internet access further isolates Hassan from the vast opportunities available online, depriving him of the convenience and connectivity that digital platforms offer. When he needs to borrow money, he asks his friends and family. His financial reality is a daily struggle. When he receives money from his brother in India, he incurs high remittance fees, losing 15 cents on every dollar. This significant deduction further depletes his already limited resources, making it increasingly challenging to meet his basic needs. On the other hand, the worldwide remittance business is worth $626 billion. 200 million people living away from their home countries send money back to their families, and the cost of moving that money sits somewhere between 7% to 15% on average. Can you believe it? 1 billion people worldwide depend on remittances, while banks and other middlemen profit from these vulnerable people. It's a truly unjust situation. Jessica and Hassan's circumstances highlight a significant disparity. This disparity becomes clearer to see during times of adversity. Jessica can manage her risk and protect herself from uncertainty since she has access to insurance. In contrast, Hassan has limited tools to protect himself from uncertainty. If he gets sick, if he dies, there is no safety net or support system to provide coverage or assistance. If Jessica were to go to prison for 5 years, her assets would remain intact under her name, patiently awaiting her return. However, Hassan had to flee for his safety due to a war breaking out in his region. Fast forward 5 years, when Hassan finally returns, he is confronted with a disheartening sight. Others have settled on the land he calls home. This raises a fundamental question. Who now claims ownership? Is it Hassan, the rightful owner who was forced to abandon his land, or the individuals who have since occupied it? So how do we bridge this gap between Earth 1 and Earth 2 so that we can empower individuals like Hassan? How can we create a fairer and more inclusive financial system? Enter blockchain technology, which offers 3 key solutions: immutability, decentralized transactions, and smart contracts. Hernando de Soto is a Peruvian economist. In his book, The Mystery of Capital, Why Capitalism Triumphs in the West and Fails Everywhere Else, he suggested that there is a substantial economic cost associated with the lack of proper documentation. He estimates that there may be around $10 trillion worth of dead capital that remains illiquid due to the absence of proper documentation. This dead capital represents untapped resources that could fuel economic growth, create opportunities, and lift people out of poverty. Yet the absence of proper documentation makes it unusable. Blockchain, in simple terms, is a secure and tamper-resistant database. It's the backbone of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, and once information is added to a blockchain, it becomes immutable and stays there forever. This immutability makes it an ideal platform for storing identities, agreements, and property rights. Bitcoin has one of the most robust and distributed blockchains in existence. It's resistant to censorship and can operate independently of any governing authority. But wait, there's more. The real magic happens with smart contracts, pioneered by a 19-year-old visionary named Vitalik Buterin. These are programmable agreements that remove the need for third-party verifications and enforcement. Smart contracts can be executed on a decentralized grid, ensuring immutability, censorship resistance, and certainty. Ethereum became the first blockchain that enables the creation and execution of smart contracts, and it opened up a world of possibilities. Now, let's apply these solutions to Hassan's challenges. Blockchain enables him to create a digital history that is always accessible and resistant to censorship. He needs access to credit and insurance to protect himself against uncertainty. The blockchain allows him to prove he owns the land that he lives on, even if he has to flee it. By conducting his financial activities on blockchain-based platforms, he can build a reputation and establish creditworthiness. His remittance costs are a significant burden, and they can be dramatically reduced through decentralized transactions, allowing Hassan to send money to his family safely and cheaply. Imagine the relief of not losing a significant portion of your hard-earned money to middlemen. Instead of 15% going to these middlemen, they will receive nothing.
So one of the most fascinating things I think that you're working on these days is the idea of using blockchain technology to create better, more transparent registries. How would that work, and how will that help kind of revive these, kind of give CPR to these citadels of dead capital?
Blockchain, simply because it can handle an enormous amount of information and use distributed ledger systems, and has platform contracts that are extremely useful.
Does that does the publicity of who owns what or what people are up to, does that also help limit the power of the state to or the powerful people to just unilaterally take what may or may not be theirs?
Yes, of course. The first thing, interestingly enough, that they don't like about blockchain is that poor people don't want to hide what they own. They want other people to know that they own it and they shouldn't take it. So the fact of the matter, and to actually have a presence. So the fact is that being legitimate, and having a document is what gets you through. I mean, even now that I've come to visit the United States, the first thing I was asked as I got off the plane was, "Who are you?" And they looked at my passport and checked it 3 or 4 times, had to put my 4 thumbs there. Once you got me identified, I could come into your country. Okay, most of the people in my country can't do that.
Blockchain technology is often touted as a revolutionary invention. With over 20,000 cryptocurrencies, it's essential to identify the right one. 3 key aspects to consider are decentralization, security, and scalability. Decentralization ensures no single entity controls the network. Security requires it to not be vulnerable to attack. Scalability means accommodating billions of users. The perfect blockchain needs to meet all 3 of these requirements. Meeting all 3 criteria is challenging, and no blockchain has achieved it yet. Bitcoin leads in decentralization with over 10,000 nodes. In terms of security, Bitcoin is arguably the most secure blockchain in the world, having never been hacked since inception in 2009. Bitcoin uses a model known as proof of work to keep the network secure, and this consumes tremendous amounts of electricity. On the other hand, we have Cardano, which is the most secure proof of stake blockchain. Cardano's model for security has been peer-reviewed and mathematically proven to be just as secure, if not more secure, than Bitcoin's proof-of-work model. The huge difference is that Cardano's security requires 99% less energy than Bitcoin to ensure security. Regarding scalability, Bitcoin employs the Lightning Network. Ethereum utilizes its own Layer 2 solutions, and Cardano relies on Hydra to enhance scalability. It's like a race to see who can handle the massive influx of users while maintaining efficiency. 2 crucial but often overlooked factors in blockchain success are interoperability and sustainability. Interoperability allows blockchains to communicate with one another ensuring long-term viability. Cardano stands out by prioritizing interoperability through sidechains. Sustainability encompasses environmental consciousness and financial stability to fund future development. While Cardano is eco-friendly, it also focuses on financial sustainability through Project Catalyst. An initial coin offering provides initial capital for most blockchains, but long-term funding requires innovative approaches like Project Catalyst. To learn more about Project Catalyst, watch my recent video titled Ethereum's Deflation versus Cardano's Catalyst. The internet. It's hard to imagine life without it, right? But did you know that only 40% of the world's population has internet access? That's a lot of people left in the dark. The question is, how can we connect people like Hassan to the internet? One solution is to establish decentralized internet service providers, as World Mobile aims to do in Africa. Just as people can mine Bitcoin, they can become micro-internet service providers, offering connectivity to their local communities. And let's not forget Elon Musk's Starlink, which aims to blanket the globe with internet coverage. Blockchain technology is paving the way for a more inclusive and empowering future. It will break down barriers, unleashing the potential of dead capital, and revolutionizing how we transact and interact. While there is much work ahead, one thing is certain: the future will be decentralized. Are you looking forward to this future? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share and subscribe for more in-depth analysis on the ever-evolving crypto space. Until next time, stay curious.